All right, first card is the Enchantment card. This is all about magic and mysticism, this ability to see that you are the magician. Welcome to a brand new weekly reading. I am so excited to connect with you as always. Rissa Vibes here, aka Readings by Rissa, and today we are tapping into a brand new week of energy. And this is the first time that I am doing the weekly reading this way. We're used to doing them live, but I'm switching it up from this point forward with these pre-recorded readings, just a couple days recorded in advance, just to allow for any technical difficulties to be avoided and any other issues to be navigated, so that we can always have the highest quality of readings available to you every single week. So we're here for the first run of pre-recorded messages, and I'm super excited to join you for these messages. This is going to be a full weekly reading of the energy of November 15th to November 22nd, 2020. This is going to be a lot of energy to talk about. We have a new moon in Scorpio on this day. This is going to be a big energy. And of course, today is the day that we are airing this reading, which is on Sunday, the 15th of November, which is the new moon in Scorpio. So we're going to talk a lot about that. We did go over it last week in the last week's weekly reading, but we're going to talk a little bit more about it tonight as well. So make sure that you stay tuned for all of those good messages, because there's a lot to discuss with that also. All right, so this is a little awkward for me to not have all of you talking to me right here on live like I'm used to. So just bear with me if there's any weird moments or if I look at the camera funny. But as we continue to get used to this process, I think it'll just be really great for all of us to be able to interact. And I'm sure I'm right there with you watching this premiere of this reading on the live chat, and that really allows us to connect even deeper with this web of light community that we've built here on my channel. So let's go ahead and get into a review of last week's reading before we go into the weekly reading of this week. Last week, for the beginning of the week, I pulled the Magician card. This was a card really allowing us to tap into our power, into our manifestation abilities, and to recognize that we are the magician of our lives. Then in the middle of the week, I pulled the Perception card. The Perception card was all about changing our perspective, being more open-minded, seeing things through a different lens, and allowing ourselves to really relax into new perspectives and perceptions. And then in the end of the week, I pulled the Truth and Integrity card. This was really about new truths being revealed, and also so important for us to follow through on the truths that are revealed instead of just ignoring them or pretending like they're not there. So really impactful messages from last week's reading, and we are still in that energy today. And we also have that new moon in Scorpio today, which I did pull a card for last week. We pulled the Brother in Darkness card, and this was all about healing and going within your shadow and within your essence and within your intuition to really identify and reveal some of those hidden truths. And also to recognize that even though the darkness may seem scary or a little bit uncomfortable, it does have this essence of kinship and healing and integration to it that allows for a really nice connection to your spirit that you really need, okay? So as we dive into this week's messages, 11:15 to 11:22, we're going to tap into all of the messages that I received from my meditations, from my readings, from just tapping into the Mass Collective, from messages from my guides that bring me so much clarity for the energy that we are about to experience. And so I really felt like a lot of the messages that came through, of course, are going to be integration of the new moon energy that we're feeling into today, but that we're going to really want to notice how that energy shifts and really be prepared for the way in which we're going to be encouraged to use that energy over the next several weeks for the rest of the year. So as you all know, it is a new moon in Scorpio today, Sunday the 15th of November, and there is a lot of energy in that new moon in Scorpio. We are discovering hidden truths. We are going deep within our shadow work. We are also really uncovering parts of ourselves and parts of the world that have been tucked away, hidden away, or ignored for some time. And with that, we're also feeling a lot of emotions from that exposure and from that vulnerability that comes with it. Now, in this experience, our empathic abilities are very, very sensitive. This is the first spirit message that I got for this week coming up. For this energy moving forward, we're going to feel a lot more empathy. We're going to feel other people's energy way more sensitively. We're going to feel the room of where we're in, or the environment we're in, or the circumstance we're in. We're going to feel the energy of it very, very deeply. Now, we don't want to ignore that when we feel it. We want to pay attention to that, and we want to decipher what that energy is telling us. Is this a good energy? Is it making us feel better? Is it making us feel more productive, making us feel more in alignment or more in tune with our goals? Or is this an energy that is actually causing us to feel limited or constrained or oppressed in some way, or just somehow, not ourselves? We want to pay attention to that. And if we're feeling not ourselves, we want to notice what is it that is causing that dissonance and that feeling of contrast. Is it something within you that is causing you to separate yourself from the experience, or judge the experience too heavily, or react to the experience as if it was an experience you've had before, maybe like a trigger? Or is it something that's kind of more of a warning that you're feeling, that your spirit is saying, hey, pay attention to this. This is not a good place to be in, or a good person to be around, or this is affecting you in this way. So pay attention to it, because your intuition is your biggest survival skill right now. I've been saying that for the past couple of weeks, and I'm going to keep saying it throughout the year. This is a time where we want to use our empathic abilities. We want to channel them. We want to use our intuition. We want to understand it and develop it more than ever. Because in a time when we are revealing hidden truths, when we are seeing a lot of illusions and delusions being thrown at us, when we're removing the veil, we want to allow ourselves the assistance of doing that by having the best tool in our tool belt, which is our intuition, to do so. So if you're looking to develop your intuition, if that's something that's been calling to you, do not hesitate, do not wait. Now is the time. And know that if you are very empathic, that is a wonderful gift. Maybe it feels very overwhelming to you. Maybe it feels kind of like a curse instead of a blessing sometimes, but know that it really is just about learning how to master it, harness it, understand it. And once you do, it will be such a blessing. And so if you need help doing that, if you need help developing your intuition, or learning how to use it better, or learning how to protect your energy more, reach out to me. That's definitely something I'll do. And that's something that I do professionally, because I'm so passionate about helping people sharpen this tool, because it is so, so crucial during this time and just in our lives in general. So please reach out to me if you want. I'll put the link in the description of this video for you to reach out to me about coaching and mentoring one-on-one. But also, this energy of extreme empathic ability is going to be hitting all of us in different ways. And we are going to learn how to attune to it if we pay attention to it. So that's the biggest message here. Pay attention to your empathic abilities, your ability to feel and sense energy. Don't ignore what you sense, and really utilize it as a tool to help you through situations. Now, the biggest lessons that we're learning are really this amazing abundance of wisdom that comes through. We just went through so much with the thinning of the veil portal, the 1010 portal. We went through a lot with all of the, the blue moon, the Taurus moon, just so much change all of this year with a conjunction. And we're going to actually see another conjunction with that Capricorn stallion from the beginning of the year coming back this week, and we're going to see it in a big way. I'll talk about that astrologically in just a little bit, but essentially we're going to really feel this sense of wisdom coming through from all that we've learned from the astrology influences, and just from the years struggles and shifts and unexpected changes. And so all the lessons you learned and all the wisdom you gained are windows of opportunity. And this is something that I really want you all to sink into and reflect on, because all of you are going to have a different kind of set of opportunities that will flourish from the different sets of wisdoms that you've gained from this experience. All of you have learned different lessons through this, whether it's learning how to let go of things, learning how to shift when things become unexpected and change quickly, learning how to open your heart more and judge less, or work together, or rely on people more than you ever have. These are lessons that we all learn that are super necessary for our growth and development. And when we use those as windows of opportunities to grow, we really do get the most out of them. And we are getting so many opportunities to take advantage of that right now. So let yourself do that. And in this realm, we want to also pay attention to what lessons we're learning that we can't ignore, that maybe you're trying to learn, or trying to ignore, but are not, able to. So don't run or try to ignore any truths that come up right now. Any lessons, any shadow work, any things that are uncomfortable that keep kind of poking you and jumping out at you to pay attention to. Don't waste any more time. Do the work. Really make sure that you're putting yourself into what you know that you need to do, investing yourself into the work you need to do, and being disciplined and consistent. We've talked about this, but this is coming up again because this is all about the Scorpio season. And of course, we've been in the Scorpio season for a couple weeks now, and we're actually towards the end of it with this week. But the new moon in Scorpio is kind of adding a peak to that energy, and we really want to pay attention to that. So some of the messages that we're going to be getting are going to be warning signs. They're going to let us know, hey, this is something you need to be careful of or leery of. This is something you need to pay attention to or work on. These are things that are going to get in your way if you don't handle them now. So make sure that the signs and synchronicities you're getting, that you're really taking heed of them, that you're really paying attention to them, and you're making sure that if they feel like warning signs or tests, that you're treating them as such, because they likely are. So there's a lot of speedy progression, okay? Speedy progression in the things that are in alignment. So once you clear out the shadow, once you kind of release things that aren't aligned to you, and once you really do the work, everything is going to move very quickly. You're going to have a speedy and progressive alignment to things that you've been asking for, and aligned journey to the things that you've been asking for. So this is really about manifestation. It can almost feel overwhelming because some of the things that you may have asked for are happening and manifesting all at once. And maybe you feel like, wow, I asked for a lot and I'm maybe not ready to handle and juggle all of this. Or maybe you just, weren't at a place to receive it all the way, confidence-wise, or, even just space-wise, energetically. And so this is an opportunity for you to really take things slow, to get still, and to know that if you can just push through and trust that you have manifested these things for a reason, and that because you've manifested them, you will manifest a successful, kind of unveiling of them. If you can stay on track, if you can continue the path that you used to manifest these things, by staying in your spiritual practice, by setting intentions, by being strict on the vibration that you're investing in all the time, and pushing through and trusting in spirit to help you really progress through the things that are in alignment. Because that Mars retrograde just ended, and now we're feeling this really amazing benefit from the patience that we had during the Mars retrograde as we released and reassessed and redirected things that were out of alignment. And now with that Mars retrograde gone, everything that is actually in alignment and meant to be yours is moving quickly, manifesting quickly, and it's happening right here, right now. And you can handle it. Even if it feels overwhelming, take a couple deep breaths, get still within yourself, and trust that you will be okay. Push through. These are endurance building tests and activities from spirit. These are going to help you with your energy tolerance, and you can actually You can hold more energy than you've ever held before because of everything we've gone through energetically this year. So that means you can actually hold more abundance and more prosperity and more opportunity and more success than you've ever held before. So trust that. And if it feels overwhelming, just know that you can ask your spirit guides to slow things down a little bit if you feel like you need to. They are here to work with you. They don't want to overwhelm you. They are here to help you in whatever way that they can. So trust yourself, okay? And this is also really, really focused on decision making. So we're being encouraged to make decisions that we were kind of hesitant to make over the last several weeks. Maybe we just didn't have the clarity we needed. Maybe we just weren't all the way sure of ourselves. Now we can go ahead and make those decisions. The Mercury retrograde is over, so we can sign contracts. We can commit to things that we've been wanting to commit to now that we have the clarity and the energy to sustain a more pure intended contract. And we also have that clearing of the Mars retrograde, which is letting things move forward progressively. So any decisions that you felt a little weary on or unsure of recently, reassess, check back in, see if you have more information or if you have a different perception on things. Remember our card from last week, and allow yourself to shift accordingly so that you can make those decisions, because now the energy is aligned. So all systems go with those projects or with those business transactions or deals or contracts that you've kind of been on hold for. Now you can go ahead and go forward in them if they feel aligned, if your intuition feels like they're pure of intention, that they are really in a good place, and that they really are aligned to the goals and the integrity of everything that you're wanting to manifest in your life, okay? All right, so we're really feeling the Mars retrograde helping move forward passionate projects, things that we're passionate about, things that are surrounding our soul purpose, our soul mission, things that we really know we came here on this earth to do, whether it's to heal, to help, to serve, to create, to build, to structure, to organize, whatever we're here to do, we are being encouraged to do it. And Mars retrograde being over is now letting us move forward in our progressive and passionate plans. So if there's something that you've been wanting to do more of, that you've been really passionate about, but you haven't made the time, now's a great time to do so. Really let yourself go all in and see what comes forth, because it's going to be pretty amazing. So now, in regards to seeing what comes forth and letting things be amazing, we also have to remember that when we're manifesting things in our life, when we're creating, when we're making big decisions, when we're doing all of those things, when we've asked for abundance, right? And then we start to see things move forward, we start to see our abundance show up, we start to receive that stuff. We want to make sure we don't resist the changes. We don't resist the changes, especially that are aligned to the blessings that we've asked for. A lot of times we are forced to change or sacrifice a little bit of something in order for us to gain big in another way. And this is part of the universe's test of our flexibility and of our ability to surrender to what the universe has in store for us, what it believes that we can, most benefit from in our life. So sometimes what seems like a setback or a step back is actually a huge jump forward. And if we can really move into that sacrifice place for just a moment and be selfless, we actually realize that by doing so, we open up to a brand new abundance and we pass the test that the universe gave us. So let yourself really relax and release any resistance to changes in your life right now, especially if you've been asking for big things in your life, if you've been asking for big shifts, and now you're getting things moving and things unexpectedly are changing, and maybe things are being released from your life, or maybe things are being added to your life that may be feeling uncomfortable or just odd. Trust it, because if you've been wanting something different and asking for something different, and now you're starting to receive something different, then that's proof that it's manifesting. But don't let that be something that scares you or freaks you out and then causes you to push away from those changes that are actually representative of blessings to come that you've asked for, okay? So don't resist the changes that you've asked for. Lean in, right? I keep saying lean in, lean in, lean in. And these are our new fresh starts. And these new fresh starts require a bit of sacrifice. All of them do. And this is a new moon in Scorpio we're in today. So that means that we are stepping into new beginnings. And Scorpio is the ruler of the underworld. So there's a lot of depth and sometimes darkness that we have to face. And we have to kind of even accept and align with sometimes in order for us to really rise into a higher vibration. And I mean align in the way of not giving our power to it, or choosing that it's what we surrender to or worship or anything like that, but more so align in understanding, in acceptance, in observation, in awareness. And when we can understand the darkness and how to use it, and the void and how to use it, then we actually rise into such a power spiritually that we need for our new beginnings and our new skill sets. So, it requires sacrifice. And this isn't a morbid sacrifice. This is just giving things to the shadow, giving things that we no longer need, things that we no longer want to hold on to, things that we no longer feel are representative of us, giving that to the shadow and letting it clear so that we can move into new aspects of ourselves that have been calling us. And some deep emotions are going to surface from this, okay? This is normal. This is part of the purging. This is part of the release. And this is part of what happens when we dive super deep into parts of us that maybe we've forgotten, or that we haven't even let ourselves know because it was too traumatic or too hard to see or too hard to understand at the time. And when we dive into those things, these deep emotions will surface. Sometimes we won't even realize what they're surfacing from. They're just surfacing. So let yourself see that. Let yourself feel it. This is the peak of our shadow work during this new moon in Scorpio for this year in 2020, which is such a shadow year. So let yourself just honor what this is and take the opportunity, because we don't have often opportunities to dive super deep into our shadows on a massive scale, on a mass collective scale. This is a really, really powerful time where everybody is doing this kind of work. And so we can't judge each other. We can't say one person's shadow is darker than the others. We're really just in a place of all of us having to deal with our own stuff and learn how to, and be there while we're doing it for each other and with each other. So don't avoid it. And it's all about purging, processing, and being present. Okay, the 3 Ps. That's the best way to really deal with this shadow stuff and these deep emotions. Purge it, so release it, let it come up to come out through journaling, through meditating, through crying, through breath work, whatever it is, yoga. Process it, talk about it with a friend, process it within yourself, understand it, integrate it, accept it, become more aware, and then be present. Don't focus on the past, don't focus on the future. Just be still right here in this moment and figure out what that means for you right here, right now, and apply it as necessary, okay? And things might look a little scary for a second as you do that shadow work and as those deep emotions come up, and also as the world does its shadow work, as we see the world enter chaos, as we see the world, kind of grapple with this energy of separation and duality and chaotic expression and judgment and ego and all of these things. So it may look scary for a little bit, but know that we're not going to walk in fear when we're the light, when we are acceptance of our light and of who we are. And so if you truly believe you are a light being, which I know all of you do, and you are light beings, then walk in that light, trust in that light, and know that you don't have to be afraid of any darkness or any chaos, because you are the light, you are the order and the chaos. And you can trust your heart and your intuition to be the guide in that order amongst chaos. And that is your survival skill. So use it, use it, use it. And this is all for the purpose of clarity, rebirth, expansion, and maturation. Okay, this is all that Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, stellium in Capricorn happening in January at the beginning of this year, all coming through this year, towards the end of it, showing up again in the astrology, which we'll go over in just a second. But this is all for clarity, rebirth, expansion, and maturity. Okay, so all of these struggles, all of these shadow work experiences, all of these things that we're going through, it's all for a purpose, and it's all to make us better. So know that if you're struggling with immaturity, if you're struggling with confusion, if you're struggling with, just feeling stuck, or feeling narrow-minded or just, limited, then these experiences, these tough challenges, these tests and trials of this year are really here to help you develop the skills to get past those things and move into a higher vibration, okay? All right, so let me know how all of you are feeling. Tap into the comments and just let me know how you're resonating with these messages so far. Make sure that if you're resonating with these messages and you like these readings, to subscribe to this channel, tap the bell for notifications, like, comment, share with anybody that you feel like will resonate with these messages or needs these messages as well, so we can build this web of light community. I really enjoy sharing these messages every week with you, and I'm so grateful to be able to continue doing so. So let's go ahead and get into the astrology before we wrap it up with a couple of cards. Again, like I've talked about, the new moon in Scorpio is today, November 15th, 2020, and this is a deep and powerful transformation moon. This is for new beginnings in a deep and powerful way. This is where that shadow work peak is happening, and we've got a lot of transits to talk about. The sun sextiles Jupiter, which is really allowing us to see into what we need to expand in order for us to, what we need to do in order for us to expand, in order for us to grow and prosper. And we're really seeing that being brought to light. So you may even feel a little bit of disappointment in yourself and what you feel like you should be doing or could be doing better. But this is all for the purpose of showing you that, so that you can do better and so that you can start putting in the blueprints to create more expansion and positive change. And so you want to put that in your new moon intentions if you notice that. Now, the new moon also is sextiling Jupiter. Of course, the sun and the moon are together here. And so that is also creating more of this intuitive awareness of what you could be doing better and what you could be progressing on as well. So not only are you going to see it in a very logical and practical way, but you're also going to feel it very deeply and intuitively and even emotionally. So it can get a little bit hard to deal with, maybe a little dark, but just trust that these are parts of your spirit speaking to you to tell you that this is possible to overcome and that you will feel better when you apply yourself to the things that you're seeing you need to improve on. And if you've already been doing the work, then you're noticing the expansion in a positive way in your life. So keep doing the work. And if you're getting overwhelmed at doing the work, just keep pushing through. You're going to be okay. You're building the muscle. You're building the endurance. So keep going. Now, Venus squares Pluto and Jupiter in this new moon in Scorpio, and this is really where stress can kind of build up a bit. Pluto is all about rebirth, so it's going to kind of feel like it's stripping away some things and also kind of building things and expanding things, with Jupiter expanding our mind. Venus is adding this sense of healing through love and pleasure and beauty. So some of the things that we find pleasurable, we're actually healing and kind of reworking. So it's going to be a bit uncomfortable and maybe stressful, maybe even overwhelming. So this is where some of that purge can happen, with Pluto really clearing and helping us let go, purging emotions, purging anxiety and fear. So if you're feeling some of that, let yourself release it through meditation, breath work, yoga, taking a nice bath, going for a run, for a walk, doing something that really lets you release tension, okay? Now, with the new moon in Scorpio, I'm going to be talking even more about this tonight, and we're going to be doing it from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time, which is 5 to 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Time. And that's going to be live on my Instagram. I'm going to be talking with Chad all about the moon. He's a Scorpio, so he's going to have a lot of added genius to this topic as well. So we'll be talking about the new moon in Scorpio tonight live on my IG at the times I just specified, and I'll make sure to put those times in the description below so you don't miss it. And you can make sure to follow me at Readings by Rissa so that you don't miss any of my content on Instagram, because I put a lot of stuff up there that you'll enjoy as well. All right, so that's the new moon in Scorpio today. Again, if you want even more information on it, check that weekly reading that I posted last week. There's more information there, and that combined with tonight's live on the moon on my Instagram will be a really great just culmination of information for you to tap into for tonight's moon. A couple of other astrological influences for this week. On the 17th of November, we've got Mercury opposite Uranus. This is going to give us some innovative energy and creative energy. This is going to help with new perspectives and expanding our mind. So get creative, let yourself have really, deep conversations and stimulate your mind in a lot of ways on the 17th of November. That will be really helpful for you, okay? That's going to be on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, the Sun sextiles Saturn. We've got this huge energy with that conjunction happening, still kind of coming up. We've got the Jupiter, we've got the Pluto energy, and we've got Saturn energy here as well. So we're going to feel more practical thoughts. We're going to feel more grounded on Wednesday. We're also going to feel Venus squaring Saturn as well on that day. So not only is the Sun going to highlight with Saturn's influence what we are maturing on and what we need to be more responsible and accountable for. So it's going to be really great to have Venus squaring Saturn on that day as well, because with Venus squaring Saturn, we're going to see more accountability and maturity in our loving relationships, in our connections to pleasure and self-care, and how we, kind of express our passions and pleasure as well. So that's going to be a really important day on Wednesday. Lots of energy there, lots of shifts. So know that if you're feeling a little testy that day, that might be why. And then on the 21st of November, which is Saturday, we're going to see the Sun, Mercury, and Venus all in Scorpio, which is a lot of energy in Scorpio. We've got our powerful action energy and our kind of highlight energy of our spirit with the Sun in that Scorpio. Then we've got the Mercury, the way we communicate in Scorpio. And then we've got Venus, the way we love, the way we express pleasure and beauty, all in Scorpio. Scorpio being this deep, kind of mysterious, intuitive underworld sign that is also very emotional, watery energy, very much in flow, very kind of observant as well. And so lots of energy there with Sun, Mercury, and Venus all in Scorpio. So be prepared for Saturday. Lots of deep stuff happening on that day. And then the Sunday, 11/22, this is a powerful energy because we were in that 11/11 portal last week. We did have the ending of the thinning of the veil with that 11/11 portal. Now from 11/11 to 11/22, which is the Sunday, we are going to be feeling such a powerful alignment to our clarity, to our visionary qualities, to our leadership, to our abundance in leadership. Sun moves into Sagittarius, so we're going to feel this kind of enthusiasm and joy and excitement and the things that we really see ourselves doing and feeling enlightened in. We're also going to feel expanded views, vibrant views, new perspectives, seeing the world through different eyes, different lens, and we're seeing things through a lighter side of things as well. So we're brightening up that Scorpio energy on Sunday, aligned vision, visionary energy, unity, and futuristic plans, plans for the future in a really positive and healthy way. All right, so that's all of the astrology for this week coming up, 11/15 to 11/22. How are all of you feeling? We're going to end this reading with a few cards to summarize. Let me know how you're enjoying these pre-recorded readings. It's definitely new for me, so it may take me a couple of times to really get the swing of it, but it's really great to have this capability to do it this way, just to provide an even higher quality for all of you. And I also want to mention that I do have some events coming up. I'm going to be posting them in the description below with the dates and the links to join the events. We've got a hybrid children STARSEED event coming up that I'm really excited to host. We're going to be talking about your hybrid children and how to connect with them and really what hybrid children are and what being a STARSEED is, and we're going to dive really deep into that. All right, let's go ahead and end this reading with a few cards to sum everything up, and we will get ready for the next reading next Sunday. All right, so checking in with the first card. This is the card for the beginning of the week coming from the Healing with the Angels deck. Now I'm going to ask for the middle of the week card from the Mary Magdalene deck. And then since we're at such a shadow work peak, I'm going to go ahead and ask for the end of the week card from the Lantern deck, the Shadow Work deck. So have patience with your shadow work. That's what I'm getting from this as well, that we're going to kind of go through that journey a little slow, and we have been. This energy of kind of taking our time, sifting through the shadow, really going deep. And we have to do that. You know, we have to take our time when we're going deep into something, and we don't want to miss, you know, whatever that comes up from that. So make sure you're paying attention to how your shadow work is progressing. All right, first card is the Enchantment card. This is all about magic and mysticism, this ability to see that you are the magician. We had the Magician card at the beginning of the week last week. Now we have the Enchantment card at the beginning of the week this week. So this is literally saying that the magic is continuing on into this week, that we are powerful manifestors, and to keep the magic alive by staying in our heart, following our intuition, and asking for what we want, and trusting that we will receive it, okay? Beautiful card for the beginning of the week. Then the middle of the week, we have the War and Peace card from the Magdalene deck. This is about duality and really understanding separation, accepting shadow, accepting separation, accepting what isn't what we need so that we can let it go and then move on. Sometimes if we don't accept what we need to let go of, we actually can't let go of it, right? Sometimes if we don't accept that we're, stubborn, then we will never release that stubbornness. So we've got to accept that energy, that duality, that separation, that war within ourselves in order to find peace, okay? So use that awareness of duality to find unity. And then the end of the week card, emotional energy from our Lantern deck. This is that empathic ability, being so strong, so sensitive. So in our shadow work, in our struggle, in our challenges, don't take your emotional sensitivities as weakness. Take them as tools, as opportunities to understand the energy flowing through you so that you can navigate it better. The card itself says emotions are messengers to be met with appropriate attention, action, and gratitude. So let your emotional energy be a grateful and amazing tool that you have in your tool belt for you to use as a survival skill for your intuition and for your journey in this life, okay? I'm sending you all so much love. I hope you enjoyed this week's reading. Again, this was the weekly reading for November 15th to November 22nd. So excited to be able to join you here, and I can't wait to join you again next week, next Sunday, premiering at 1:11 p.m. Central Time. I will see you there. Peace.